All right, and we're live for SampleServe Masterclass Wednesdays. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us. My name is Joshua Paul. I'm Marketing Director, Product Manager for SampleServe, and I have with us Russell Schindler, CEO and founder of SampleServe, who in a past life was an environmental specialist, an environmental professional. He's been in the field for most of his life, so if anybody knows anything about taking samples in the field, it's going to be Russell Schindler. How you doing, Russell?
I'm doing well.
Doing good.
Happy to be here.
On Wednesdays like this, we like to go over tips and tricks for our environmental field app, our project management tool, and our report generator. We like to bring on some environmental experts. We like to talk about the industry as a whole. And today we have a special one for you. Just keep in mind as well, put any questions or comments in the chat. Even when this is over, we'll get to the comments or questions. And this link remains live after this is over as well. So you can share it with a friend if you think this would be helpful to anybody as well. So we're here to talk about form capabilities in the SampleServe platform, Sample ENV. We'd like to show you some capabilities that the form builder can do. We don't like to label ourselves as a form builder. We're much more than that. We're environmentally focused. I know that a lot of form builders and a lot of firms out there are using form builders that are not actually environmentally focused. They're just more for collecting data in the field, and that's about it. And that's kind of where the capabilities stop. So we're gonna show you some stuff in the app, and we're also gonna show you some outputs as well. So we got two types of forms that you can make in the platform, and it's an event level form and individual sample form. And let's start with event level forms. So Russell, we actually just kind of created this capability about 6 months ago. Some of our users were asking for this, and I think it's a great addition. Russell, give us some examples and some ideas about what users can use these event level forms for.
Sure. So as you mentioned earlier, that I used to be out in the field and doing sampling, and having forms to kind of check things, to follow procedures, make sure you're covering everything, because you're busy, you're thinking of other things. Maybe you're fighting with the girlfriend or the wife or the boyfriend or the husband. And, so things are on your mind and you're running through, you're getting ready to leave the office. And I would always have a pre-mob checklist before I left for the garage where we had all of our stuff. I would go through the checklist just to make sure I didn't forget anything. And sure enough, if I thought that I was so smart, this is a small project, I could skip the checklist, I would always forget something, right? So I'd get to the site, it's 45 minutes away, and I realized I left the, groundwater, the water level meter tape on the, garage floor, and I didn't put it in the vehicle. And so inevitably, the checklist always helped. So I'm a big fan of checklists because it just makes sure that everyone is on the same page, and you've got all your stuff, and it's documented, right? So if you did forget it, or if somebody else forgot it, you've got, evidence, and, not that you want to blame people, but, it's like, it just holds people accountable. So it's a good documentation way to hold people accountable. And so, that's one of the checklists. There's tailgate safety meetings, rather than have, all these different forms you got to make sure you have if everything's right on the mobile device, you got all these forms kind of built in. It just really makes things move a lot simpler and faster. So,
right. So
and all the documentation is tied to that one event, right? It's all right there. You can pull it up later.
Show us how a user would go in and manage these forms, customize it to liking, and kind of add it to their project as well.
Yeah, if you
there we go. You're live.
Okay, so we have this little button over here. It says Manage Forms, and in this particular example, I had this for February 15th. It's groundwater sampling. I just picked 4 wells. So here's where I'm going to pick my tests. So I've got B-Tex right there. And then here's where I have my form selection. I click this form. You can see I've got well condition inspection form. If I wanted to have, I think I have this set as low flow, but if I want to do a redevelopment on one of these wells, I can hit save. And I'm like, oh, while you're out there, redevelop MW2 and document how you did that, right? So that form is right in there. I can actually pull up these forms. I'll pull up the well-conditioned inspection form, and I can customize these forms. I can add new fields. If I want to move these around, I just drag and drop them. It's real simple. There's several different types of forms. You can take a photograph. Some are pull down lists. This is does a well need repair, yes or no. You can just have a freestyle text edit as well. We're just going to, describe the damage to the well. There's also numeric values as well. So you can even have a signature if you want to make sure the person is, I can just literally type in, I'm going to add a signature right now. And then the type is going to be, so now I can have the person sign on their device, and there's going to be a box on the app for them to sign their name. So you not only have them documented through their username and password, they've signed that they did this well inspection as well. So that's really, it's real simple to create these custom forms, and it'll actually be tied now to this, or all these 4 locations. When you pull up MW1, you're going to do the sampling. That's in that workflow, but then that form is also in that workflow. So that's the location specific form. Now, at the bottom down here, we close this, we have event specific forms. So as I mentioned, that checklist before, the pre-mob checklist that I mentioned, I've added this to the event. So it's not just to specific, monitoring well. It's an event level. It's a pre-mob checklist. And the way I add that is the same way. I just say add. I've got the pre-mob checklist. I can customize that as well. The date, project name, what vehicle am I taking? Do I have the water quality meter? I can open up these questions and, type in the answers. Do I have my water level meter? Do I have the pump, and what type of pump am I doing? And so it's real simple to create these forms, create the answers, and then use the checklist as part of that tablet. And it gets recorded. And I've got it to where there's a couple of technicians, if we want them both to sign it. Field Tech 1, type in the name, Field Tech 2, signature, right? Field Tech 1, signature. So it's real simple to kind of create these, populate them to your event, and now you've got everything documented. And you can do a health and safety tailgate meeting, remediation system. I think we've got one here that's got like an air sparge system checklist. Right. So you can, whatever it is, there could be just a maintenance on an air compressor you want them to do.
Now, one of our users, Russell, Antia, actually requested they're doing testing for the state of drinking water testing for the state of Texas, and they actually need a custom form that they print out on the spot. Can you tell them about that form that we made for them?
Yeah, so some of these forms, when you're done completing them, you can actually print that out and leave that with the whoever it needs to be left with. So there's a couple of users. One is for the state of Texas, and another one we're working with out of France. They've got a special test that they do in the field where we'll be able to create that report. And then if you've got a Bluetooth or a portable printer with you in the field, and these people do, they can actually print out that sheet of paper right from the mobile device, which is the full completed report for what they did that day. So there's all kinds of forms you can create. If it's really unique, we can help, like with the people out of France. There needs to be some calculations that we need to do, and so we have to hard code that in for their particular use case. And then they can print that report. So there's all kinds of functionality. It's not just create a form, answer the thing on the device. We're printing sample bottle labels, and then really the culmination is being able to generate all the common graphics showing you where contamination is right, where it isn't, what the concentrations are, one direction it's heading.
Right.
And then getting those samples, with the labels on to the laboratory as well with our digital chain of custody. So, but the forms are a big part of the project, and that's really kind of the heart and soul of what we're trying to show people.
Right.
And so we have to show them what the forms look like on the tablet, right?
Yes, yes. So we covered event level forms. We got sample level forms that you can add to just individual samples. You don't have to do it for the entire project, but you can do it on individual ones that you select. Now let's see what it looks like in the app. Because when you're in the app, you can pull up a project here, and I just created this event form. So I named this right here, event form. Let me show you what the project looks like actually at first. So this is, I got 4 samples here. I added a well-conditioned inspection form. And at the bottom here, I named it event form, and I added the pre-mobilization checklist and the air sparge remediation. So you'll see that in the app, when you open the event form here at the top, there's the air sparge remediation system checklist. Lots of data points that we can put in here. You got a signature, add your name, and we also have the pre-mobilization checklist with lots of. You made sure, Russell, to add everything that you had. You had a checklist for your checklist. It seems like.
Yeah.
And you can fill these out, and it attaches right to the event, the entire event. Now, when you need to take individual data points for an individual sample, that's when you would connect it to just that individual sample. And here you can see I completed one. Let's go into it, review sampling. The field data right here is the well-conditioned inspection form that I added. You can see I already filled this out. I got a nice picture added there.
I don't know about nice, but it's a picture.
Okay. And once that form is actually completed, I can hit this green button if I'm connected to the cloud. If I'm connected to the internet, it'll upload automatically, and the project manager back in the office can go directly into the forms here and go to custom forms report. I already downloaded this, and boom, forms available right there with all the information.
Yeah, so they can get that completed form as soon as you're done.
Yeah,
if you got connectivity in the field.
So. Yeah, as soon as it's uploaded, all that information is back on there. And you can also the nice thing about these forms is that you can attach this data to your report output as well. Yep. Let's say you have vault diameter. You can attach anything that you want to any kind of graphs or tables that you'd like, or even put it on a box mat or something like that.
The raw data from that form is also available as a CSV file as well.
Yeah, you can export it all out. I'm kind of skipping ahead. I wanted to show a slide here for the data export. And the nice thing is that these forms really allow your data inputs to be, with formatted correctly so that everybody's putting in the right things in the right areas, because if you're doing this on paper, somebody's going to maybe skip something. Somebody's going to maybe write it in the wrong spot. Somebody's going to, either just forget the form in general. This, as you're going through the app, it'll take you to that form that you have to finish it any further.
And one of the things we're working on right now is to make certain questions mandatory. Like you have to answer these. Some are going to be optional. Right now, they're all optional, but we're going to make it so that you can mark it as mandatory. They have to fill that out before they can move on. So, and then probably the most important feature of all these forms and the whole app and everything is it's all free as well. So.
Yeah, we didn't mention that yet. So you can start planning these projects, start developing your own forms for the field, and then get this data back on the project management tool all for free. Start collecting data digitally.
It's not a free trial. It's not a free trial. Yeah. It's free forever. So, get in there, start collecting your data. You can download these PDFs, everything. It's all free. Everything we've talked about here is
People don't believe it when we say free, Russell. It's hard. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And just so people know that what we're trying to do is get you to buy our reporting graphics, right? So if you're working on a project, we do charge for the generation of these graphics behind me. We do charge for that. It's a very economical, very low price, depending on how many samples you're doing. But it's not required. You don't have to buy them from us, and we know not everybody will. But that's our goal is to kind of get you using the platform, and then you'll get exposed to the reporting products. The reporting products keep getting better and better and better. The price actually stays the same or goes down. And so it's just a great value. And, most of our clients are opting into the purchasing of the graphics.
Yeah, because it's easy and it saves time.
Yeah.
So we have a partnership program. We're a software developer. You know, we don't like to consider ourselves just a software supplier. We like to consider ourselves a digital partner with our
Yep.
users, because we like to, we a lot of our clients will sit down with once every 2 weeks, and we'll go, what do you like, what don't you like, and what kind of improvements would you like to see? And that's a lot of our new features that you see coming out every week is stuff from people talking to us that are in the field, that's saying, hey, we'd really love it if we'd like an event level form. We'd really like it if you could take pictures at this time. We'd really like it if you could put this information on a report over here or over there. And this is just a small list of some of our partners it's a growing list. Eurofins is going to have a version of our app coming out soon. And he is landing big deals and around the country with the help of our digital capabilities, and equipment rental suppliers are also getting very interested in joining us on our platform as well. We're looking to be a one-stop shop, one giant hub for all environmental professionals. So if you're interested, you can go to the SampleServe website and click the partnership tab and get a hold of us, and we'll start a system that gets you kind of into the 21st century of digital data collection.
Yep.
So Russell, you got anything to add? I think we're right on time here.
You see, we're ahead of time for a change.
For a change, yeah. I like to keep it short.
I would just say, the limit on our forms is only limited by your imagination. Right. And we keep making the form input better, adding more options. There's some more options, radio buttons type of things that we're going to be adding to that form builder. And then the output as well. We're going to build some customization so you can design what your reports look like on the output side. And then your forms are actually stored in our system, forever. As long as you keep using our system, they're going to be stored there. So you can actually go back and reference them and download them anytime. Again, the use of all the form builders, the data collection, the sample collection is all free. It's free forever. And we only charge for the report output. So I just say, go ahead and give it a try. And, if there's a better option for you out there, I would say use that. But I'm pretty convinced, and a lot of our users are convinced that we're pretty much the best option out there for what we do, and the encompassing of all the things that we can do as well. So.
Right. Yeah. It's nice that we're environmentally focused, although our form options do add capabilities to essentially make us sample agnostic.
Yeah.
If you're taking a sample, we can handle it. So I think we're going to end it there, Russell. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you give this a share on LinkedIn or to a friend. It's going to be YouTube is always out there. And you can always watch past episodes on our website as well. So look out for our next one. We're going to have a couple guests coming up in March, and excited about that. And look out for next week's. Thank you, guys.